The Open Public Meetings Law 1975 C-231 has been posted, and two newspapers, the Record and Ridgewood News, have been notified. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bonanno.
Here.
Sprotsky.
Here.
Margolis.
Here.
Marsh.
Here.
Pollak. Here. Mr. Stern. Present. Mayor Reddick.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of minutes, February 24th, 2025, closed session. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion passes. February 24th, 2025, open session. Is there a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Motion to open to the public limited to 3 minutes per speaker.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Anyone from the public who wishes to speak on any topic, please come forward, state your name and the town you live in. No? Perfect. Motion to close.
Sure, but I need some.
Motion to close to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Oh, okay, all in favor, good, motion passes. Okay, you have proclamations in your packet. The one is for Irish American Heritage Day, and you can see we're dressed in green, so. It's St. Patty's Day, some of us. Women's History Month, and March 15th, the day to combat Islamophobia. So those are in your package, and now sign those resolutions. Mayor's report. This past week, Mayor Casali had invited me to Montvale. And he also invited the mayor of Park Ridge to attend a ceremony giving the keys to the city of Montvale to Matt Goldman. Matt Goldman is the young volunteer from the Triborough Ambulance Corps who was driving behind the school bus on the Parkway when the school bus had an accident, tipped over. Several children were trapped in the bus. One was seriously injured. Matt Goldman just happened that he was right behind the bus when that happened. He sprung into action, and based on his actions, he saved the lives of many of those young children. And even the one that's in the hospital is now reacting and it's getting better, and that's what we all hope for. So we congratulate him, Matt. Again, Triborough, they're all volunteers. It's the training and the experience that he had that he was able to save these lives. So it's great for Triborough. Also, our fire department, our police responded to the scene, rendering service. All the municipalities in the area were there. The state police was there. So again, we thank all the first responders who responded to the scene and helped those children live. So I thank Mayor Casali for the invitation. Also at the meeting was Assemblyman Azariti, Assemblyman Off. They gave plaques to Matt. Matt spoke, and his parents are there. Very smart, well put together young man. You could tell that he was well trained. He's going into the medical field, so some experience for him. So congratulations, Matt, again. I know we spoke that day, and I'd like to thank Mayor Casali for hosting that event. One other thing, April 1st, BMW North America is celebrating their 50 years in America, in the United States. So they've invited us to attend their ceremony at the BMW location here in Wycliffe Lake. I congratulate BMW for making Wycliffe Lake their home, and hopefully they stay here for another 50 years. So thank you, BMW. And that concludes my mayor's report. Okay, council reports. Councilwoman Margolis.
Thank you. So a couple different things going on. So most exciting based on what you were talking about of things opening is that the Poke Place and the gym at the Whole Food Shopping Center will be opening by June at the latest is the last that the owner of the building has said, which is great. We've been waiting for the Poke Place for quite a long time and the gym has moved along slowly. So that'll be a new option to both exercise and eat healthy if you like poke at the same time, which is great. Secondly, the traffic committee, which is Councilman Stern, Councilman Pollock, and myself, will be meeting again about some pedestrian improvements around the new park. As we had mentioned before, we will be doing interim pedestrian improvements before we figure out the long-term goals, because the county has a long list of lights and stop signs that we are unfortunately not the greatest need in the county. So we're going to do some other improvements as we wait. The DPW department has been busy. They are interviewing for a couple new hires. They did a great job with the snow season. They still seem to think there might be one small snow left, so hopefully they're wrong. But I did speak to the DPW super yesterday because I got some questions about when high winds are out, what you should do with your garbage and your recycling, because recycling goes by the curb. And I was told you should bungee it to your mailbox. In my case, I have a stone mailbox. I could duct tape it to my mailbox. But what he said is also, we are lucky that our recycling contract, they come out very early in the morning for many cases. They're at 6 a.m. at my house. However, the DPW does go around before that in many cases to make sure if anything does spill on the streets, they handle it or they come up behind it. But just try and take care when you can, bungee when you can, and really just make sure that so it's not all over the street. On the agenda today, there is a resolution about garbage going out to bid for private contracting. That is not a decision that is already decided. Many other towns are going to private garbage or have gone to private garbage. We are having a hard time getting sanitation workers to stay in our borough, because when you start and the DPW start on sanitation, and it is not a job that many people want. So we are just getting the pricing for what going out to bid would be, like we have gone out to recycling to see what our options are for the future of the department. With the new park coming on and some other improvements we need to make around the town. We have some failing equipment as well, just to figure out what the future shall hold. And what, piggybacking on what the mayor said, we also, you know, as you had mentioned, our fire department was actually the first fire department on scene at the accident. They were out at a different accident, and our volunteers were instrumental in extricating the child that is now in the hospital. So they will be here next month. They couldn't come today to get a proper thank you. I've let some of the people in town know the 5th grade committee of students is doing a multi-generational activity with the Seniors Association. Just came up. We are playing bingo. To benefit the Triborough Food Pantry, not gambling with money, but to enter to play bingo, you will have to bring in something for the food pantry. And what the food pantry has decided would be the most understanding to kids is kids are going to have to bring toilet paper, because toilet paper is not given out at the food pantry, but it is something that is an expensive thing that everyone needs. And we thought it would be great for the 5th graders to see that. And they had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day party, the Senior Association, as they always do. Lots of fun. They get a ton of people, and they're celebrating their 40th anniversary. And so we are very thankful for all their work. Next week, I'm attending a film ready workshop to work on getting our town film ready. I've signed up. I have to be somewhere pretty far by 9 a.m. So that'll be interesting, but it is a full day activity, but it will get us ready so we can have the opportunity to have things filmed here figure out a exact way to how to plan it and how much we will get paid, as many of the towns near us do. Would have been nice if we got Happy Gilmore too, but unfortunately Rockley got that. And I'm happy to also say that on the consent agenda today is resolution 25-79, which is about Revolution, New Jersey, making us a supporter of it, which is something that I'm very excited for 2026. And I'm actually trying to get a reenactment coming as part of the Memorial Day parade this year. So we will see what happens to bring us into that. So thank you. That's it.
Very good. Thank you. Councilwoman Marsh.
Thank you. We will have an update on our affordable housing, but Councilman Stern will be giving that. In the meantime, just some updates. As everyone has passed by the old Soul location, you may have seen the new structure going up. We are very excited. They are making progress. We are looking forward to the gastropub that's going to come there, and we are really happy that everything seems to be moving forward nicely there. We also this week had the opportunity to meet with the folks behind the Woodcliff Manor, and they showed us some preliminary plans, which we are very excited about. Most of the people actually who are involved with the project had themselves been married at the original facility. So you can tell that there's a lot of history there and a lot of sentimentality, and you can see that in the initial design plans. We did make some notes to them and some suggestions as we do at the initial meetings, and once they do submit final plans, we will have those up on our website. They'll probably be they'll be submitted to the land use board. We'll have them under the land use board. If you go under departments, land use board, then you'll be able to see it. As for the land use board this month, we have a deck and a pool, but next month, the April 22nd meeting will be a big meeting. We will have the initial studies, our area in need studies that the land use board gave the go ahead for the BMW site, for the Hilton site, gas station site. So we have 3 big studies that will be presented to us with findings and recommendations for those 3 sites. And that'll be April 22nd, when those studies and the findings and everything come in. Again, everything goes onto our site under departments, land use board, click there, and then you'll have all that information. For anyone who cannot attend our land use board meeting, again, departments, land use board, if you go onto it, you will see our meeting scheduled. You will click on the agenda, and there is a Zoom link that you can click on and watch the meetings. They are riveting. And the color blue is so popped. That's it for me for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pollock.
Not too many updates from my side. I think a lot of people covered some of the things I'm going to talk about or will be covering in their updates. The big one from my side, and we will have the police in an upcoming meeting, but just want to notify everybody that our police department did receive a free accreditation. It's been a months-long process led by Sergeant Charneski under the command of Chief Regula. So recognize their dedication to excellence and continuing on with a lot of the accreditation work that goes into that process.
Thank you. Councilman Banano.
Okay, for April 5th coming up, after this long winter, we finally have baseball opening day. That's going to be at 12 o'clock. More information to follow. April 8th, we have the motor vehicle mobile unit will be at Tyson Center from 9 to 3. Anyone's interested in using that, that's a great resource. April 12th, Hoppy Hunt at 10 o'clock from 10 to 12 p.m. Different times for different ages. People should check on the website to see what age, what time their kids will be having the hunt. And that will be at the Tice Center. And also the DMV mobile will be at the Tice Center. April 25th is Arbor Day. I think Councilwoman Brodsky will be talking a little bit more about that. The 26th, April 26th at the Old Mill will be an open house for the camp. And they're also on April 26th, there is a rabies clinic from 10 to 12 p.m. and that's going to be at the Borough Hall.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Councilwoman Brodsky.
So last month I was remiss in mentioning a stone bench that was donated. That's up at the Tice Center right now. It was donated by resident Warren Feldman, as well as Denny Wiggers. He's the owner of Denny Wiggers Landscapes and Garden Center. And Denny actually designed the stone bench. So if you're up at Tice and you see the bench, you'll know where it came from. Park and Rec. So resolutions 25-83 all the way to 87 regarding pool party rates, pool, camp, tennis, pickleball rates, and the multiple sports recreation programs with TGA are all for the purpose of getting our spring and summertown activities up and running. Happy to report that pool rates, camp rates, and tennis pickleball rates all remain the same as last year. As Councilman Bonanno mentioned, April 26th, the open house for camp and pool registrations. You can find out information. There'll be incentives for registering early. In terms of camp, one positive note, we got confirmation that we do have a go-to place when available on rainy days, and that's at the Pascack Hills High School gym. So obviously this would have to be planned ahead of time. We'd have to play weatherman and coordinate with them ahead of time. But with availability, we will be able to have use of their gym. So we thank them for that. let's see, community garden, happy to report that we have a handful of volunteers now who are interested in bringing back the community garden. Anyone who's been up to the garden lately, you'll know that there's a lot of cleanup that has to be done. We're actually meeting this week to really just get started on the cleanup so everyone can be ready with their planting as soon as possible. The Shade Tree Committee will be planting a tree at the Woodcliff Middle School on Arbor Day, April 25th. Everyone's invited. It's either going to start 9 or 9:30. We're not sure yet. And for the park, tree sponsorships are still available for $1,000, and bench sponsorships, we just have a few left at $6,000. All the information can be found on our website, and how to apply for one. And lastly, with High School Legally Blonde, if you haven't seen the play yet, showtimes are still available. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Tickets and information are available at pascactheater.org. And at a future mayor and council meeting, I just want to recognize 2 senior Woodcliff Lakers, high school seniors, both the valedictorian Elizabeth Wong and the salutatorian Zoe Green, both from Woodcliff Lake, representing us. And so that's a great honor for them, and we will honor them at a future council meeting. And that's all I have.
Good, thank you. Council President Stern.
Sure, I guess one piece of exciting DPW news that was missed by Chris and Jen on March 22nd is our shredding event between 8 and 11 a.m. Residents are only allowed 6 boxes per trip. Please no 3-ring binders at the shredding event.
That's all I have.
It's always packed. I think it's always.
So two resolutions that are on tonight's agenda. I just want to quickly give an update on them. One is we are approving the engineering fees relating to the repaving of both Brookview and West Hill roads. We would expect hopefully that we will go out to bid sometime this summer, get them done this summer. They are both very expensive roads to do. West Hill, we did get a grant for, but the total cost will be somewhere in the range of $800,000 to $900,000. Just so we have put a focus on sort of redoing some of our infrastructure, improving our infrastructure over the last several years. I think the prior councils, nobody on this council, we sort of saw some of our infrastructure not get the necessary repairs. We saw the barn fall down. We've seen Lydecker. We've seen roads which have been in disrepair for some time. So the normal amount of money that we spend per year on roads is about $300,000. This year we will be spending about $900,000. So we really are putting emphasis on infrastructure, and the first thing we're doing tonight is to approve the engineering fees relating to those two roads. The second resolution, as Councilwoman Marsh mentioned, is the settlement with Fair Share Housing relating to our prospective deed number. At the January meeting, we approved a prospective need number of 329. Within the law, anybody had until the end of February to challenge. We received 2 challenges. One was from the New Jersey Builders Association. The other one was from Fair Share Housing. As part of the legislation, we had a mandatory mediation with Fair Share Housing, and we have reached a tentative settlement with them for 360. We are what you call a vacant land analysis town, meaning that 360 number is not the number we will have to build. We authorized sometime last, I think, June to do a vacant land analysis where we look at every parcel in town that's vacant. And so we get to reduce that number by some amount. The next portion of our plan is due June 30th. Councilwoman Marsh, Wendy Q, who is our affordable housing attorney, and Dan, we were from DMR, we'll be working with them over the next several months to get our plan in place and really address the affordable housing situation. But so everybody knows, it's a very draconian law. It really forces things on the borough. Things that we're approving are not necessarily things that we want to do, but they're things that have been legislated by Trenton that we have to do. So we're just trying to steer the borough in the best, in the best way we can. Some of the options aren't great, but they are the best options we have, so.
Good.
Yep.
I just want to thank Councilman Stern and Councilwoman Marsh on working on this. It's not an easy process. As the councilman said, it's mandated by the state of New Jersey with the hammer of the courts, so to speak, that enforces these regulations. So we're working through it. As you all know, in the third round, we had a very good settlement, and I believe this settlement will be very good also for the borough and will protect us for the next decade, correct? So we'll have a judgment of repose for the next decade. We won't be required to build any more affordable housing mandated by the state of New Jersey for the next 10 years. So thank you for your efforts and your continued work in this. It's not over yet. Engineers report, it's in your packets, I'm sure you've reviewed it. Administrators report.
Mayor, unless any of the council folks have any questions, I think they summarize pretty well everything that's on there.
Wow, great. Very nice.
Jeez. Mayor.
Oh, we gotta have more St. Patty's Days. Jeez. Look at the Irish.
We have working committees.
Yeah. Public hearing ordinance number 2503, 2025 salary ordinance, motion to open to the public,
Motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
And opposed? None. Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this ordinance only, please step up and state your name and time you live in. Being none, motion to close to the public,
Motion.
all in favor?
Yes.
None opposed. Pollock got second that motion. Consent agenda, from the consent agenda, I'm going to pull, put into, a non-consent agenda, resolution 25-102. 25-102 will be voted on separately from the consent agenda.
Mayor, also on the consent agenda, just to make two clarifications. The council previously appointed Ken Porro of the law firm of Chase Laner as the tax appeal attorney. Ken Porro is no longer with the firm, so we need a resolution appointing Chase Laner, the firm itself, as the tax appeal attorney, and then a separate resolution appointing Ken Porro as special counsel for tax appeal matters,
Okay.
commercial tax appeal matters. So even though we appointed Chase Laner before, it was specific as to Ken Porro. So now, if we're not going to do a specific person from Chase Laner, we can just do the firm itself.
Okay. So we're going to amend the consent agenda
You want me to make a motion?
to reflect that.
Yes.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None. Okay, so
Non-consent.
But, some of them are on non-consent because they came in late.
Oh, we
Yeah.
could leave
It's
it on.
under the non.
You can leave the one on.
Mr. Porros was under the
Yeah, you
non-consent
can leave
because
it
it
there if
came
you
in
want.
late. It's been our tradition to put them on non-consent.
That's fine. Do we want to do the Chase?
They
Laner?
could move it into consent
Yes.
if they want.
You can do it on consent. You made the motion. and-
I mean, I would move to move all the non-consent to the consent,
Except for the one that.
Except for 102.
except for the 102, which the mayor has moved
all
on.
right, is there a motion to move all the non-consent to the consent except for
102.
25-102?
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
yes.
Any opposed? None. Okay, a vote on the consent agenda as amended.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, resolution number 25. I know.
No, don't even announce it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Man's gonna recuse himself.
I'm gonna recuse myself.
Council President will assume the dais.
102, I believe, right?
Okay, so on resolution number 25-102, do I have a motion?
Second.
Second?
Second.
Sure. Councilwoman Margolis,
Yes.
Marsh,
Yes.
Pollock,
Yes.
Bonanno.
Yes.
Brodsky, myself, yes.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor? I mean, second, is there? a second? All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None, motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Let me get the.